You're listening to Beyond the Campaign, and this is episode number 10. Welcome to Beyond the Campaign. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, podcast publicist, author, and host of this show and Read the Damn Book. Here, you're going to learn from political candidates and from politicians. We're not just going to talk about the issues. We're going to talk about the human beings who are investing themselves in us so that we can invest ourselves in them. This is Beyond the Campaign. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, and today we are talking to political influencer Ricky Longoria, who is the gay liberal. That is how you can find him on social media, and we are talking about why he's doing this, how he's doing this, what issues are important, and so much more. This was such a fun conversation, and I know you're going to enjoy it. Hello, Ricky.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Oh, I am so happy to talk to you. If my smile doesn't give that away.
I'm super excited to be here. I've waited. I had a countdown on my calendar just for this.
Oh, you're so funny. Stop. You're so cute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, you bring a smile to my face every time you pop up in my feed, which is obviously multiple times a day. But yeah, your smile, your energy, it's infectious. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Can
you.
you introduce yourself to everyone before I gush more about you?
Of course, yeah. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Ricardo Longoria, but everyone calls me Ricky, or people may know me as the Gay Liberal on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, and on Facebook. I am an organizer turned content creator in 2024. I started doing content creation on Instagram and TikTok. I had always done it when I was in junior high and in high school on the Facebook side, and I was always too afraid to get on camera, but I saw there was a need for it, and I saw it was like the in thing, and I was like, oh, okay, if these people can do it, so can I. So I just started translating what I was doing in the field, talking to voters at the doors, the phone banking, text banking, and translating that to digital and showing what the responses I was getting to my audience online and showing them that there is a vast majority of people who do not want Trump to get reelected. And I talked about the shifts that I saw from 2016 to 2020 to 2024. And when in 2020, the door knocking I didn't do just because of COVID. And it was very scary. These Trump people can be very, very passionate about what they believe. And I got screamed at and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. But there was a big shift in 24. There wasn't as many Trump stickers, Trump hats, or Trump signs, especially here in South Texas. So that sent a loud message. I thought we were going to do something here. And, I got a lot of people resonating with what I was doing. I was asked to do a collaborator request by the creators for Kamala. I wasn't a creator for Kamala, but they asked to collaborate with me. And it was just kind of the kickstart of where I'm at now. And I couldn't have done it without you, the gay treats that are watching and listening and tuning in every single day. And I recently hit 50,000 on Instagram, 10,000 on TikTok. And I'm just super
Amazing.
excited. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's really surreal to see how I got here and excited to keep on going, especially as we're seeing attacks on the freedom of speech.
Yes. As Elizabeth Warren said yesterday, Senator, they need us. They need us because you can't censor the podcast, people. You can try to get rid of us on the algorithm, but we will show up and continue showing up. We won't be silenced. What did you want to be when you grew up? Because I doubt that you were like, I'm going to be a political influencer content creator.
Never, ever thought of that. And it's crazy because I was just talking to my mom yesterday. We were on the road and I was talking with my sister. She's going to be a nurse. And I was like, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a trash man just because I was obsessed with the trucks. And I was in first grade and they asked me that same question. I said, oh, I want to be a trash man. And the teacher told me, let's dream bigger than that. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I think I want to be a lawyer. And I loved talking. You couldn't get me to stop talking. And it's funny because when I was in school, I never talked. I had to go to speech therapy. And my speech therapist now, who's much older now, and I'm obviously old too, she goes, we could never get you to talk. Now we can't get you to stop. And, I just am here. But I wanted to be a lawyer. But then I realized I don't want to go to school to be a lawyer. It's too expensive and I don't want to waste all that time. Not there's anything bad with that. I just think that I'm exactly where I need to be doing what I'm doing now.
I love that. And I have to say, I love the video recently you had of your parents were making you, what is it, an apple orchard or what do you have?
Yeah, we were at the trees.
Yeah, that you're in the trees and you're creating the content. And I was like, wow, why are his parents making him do that? And he's
Yeah.
in his flip-flops. And what is that about?
Yeah, they were just doing yard work outside and I was like, okay, I guess I'll go help them. And it was good exercise. And I was like, you know what, let me make this into content to see how people liked it. And it turned out pretty well on Instagram. So I was like, you know what, turning it a little bit into lifestyle and incorporating some mindfulness, taking a break from the news.
See, this is where I falter. This is my downfall, is that I never think to go create the content out of my everyday things. I realized, I was talking to Lauren Lehman Carter, and she's like, just start taking pictures of like you walking to soccer practice and you all of these things. And I go, all of the pictures are of me in Birkenstocks. It is so boring. That is literally all it is.
That was me and my Birkenstocks with the trees. So you could do it. And it's funny because you're a mom. You can tailor your audience to the mom. So do your everyday soccer routine and talk about different things that's coming to mind. The right to the right to free speech, how we're being censored, and how you're going to continue showing up, especially with the soccer moms. I'm pretty sure you have a group of Maha moms in your group, or those.
They're not in the group,
But
but
there
they're there.
they are. Exactly. So yeah, it's really funny how content creation works, and I saw a lot of people do it, and it's funny, a lot of the moms do that type of content, and I was like, let me try it out, and I did it.
Yeah.
Motherhood for Good does a great job at it. I will say she's
Oh,
great.
yes. Kate is
Mhm.
incredible. And I hope that everybody starts just following all of these accounts that we are dropping down, because they're all so great. And what I love even more so is the community that I have found in like yourself. Everyone is so welcoming. It's not like some cutthroat weird thing. Like there's some weird shit, but
Yeah,
the community that we have and that we've built, everyone is wanting to do for each other. They are wanting to collaborate. There was one signal chat that came up this morning of, does anyone want to collab? And I was like, oh, I will, but I'm small. So like go with the bigger ones. And Bull City Anna came in. She said the same
I love
thing.
her.
And it was like, no, we all do this together. It was Katie Grossbard. She's like, no, I got you. We're doing this together. It's not about follower count. It is about let's make a difference.
Exactly. And I always say that, reach is reach. And I used to always be like, oh, I only got 100 likes on this post. And I rethunk and I reimagined the way I looked at that. I could have not reached anyone, but I reached 100 people. 100 people took the time to watch my content and took whatever I said to do, and they did it. That's 100 people. If you're in a room with 100 people, that's going to be a packed space. So you got to just think about that like that. And thinking about your content, about making a difference, and really seeing what resonates and what doesn't resonate, and just really seeing, oh, I reached this person. Even if you reach one person, you're doing something. You are making an
Mhm.
impact. It doesn't matter if you have 100,000 followers, if you have 200 followers, 5,000, 1,000 followers. Reach is reach, and you are still reaching people where they are. And that's a lot more than what some people can say. They don't have, the capacity to make this content. So if you're making content and you're on a small account, you are generating people to talk with their inner circle. So if 100 people did it, there's going to be 5 people talking to 5 different people in their inner circle, gaining traffic to your account, saying, oh, I saw Michelle's podcast this afternoon. You should go listen to it. And they're going to come and drive traffic and increase engagement. So you got to think of it like that.
And just affecting one person makes such a
Exactly.
difference. I always say, if you can change one life, you've done everything you need to in your own lifetime. You're good to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that, because I was on TikTok yesterday and I was scrolling on my For You page, and this individual came up and she was talking about Turning Point USA and that she worked with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. She left, right
I
when.
know the video you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, she has like over 80,000 followers. It's so funny. She follows me on TikTok. And I was like, this person is following me. She has 80,000 followers. She's obviously very, you know, tight knit about who she picks to follow, but she chose to follow me. And it's like, this is incredible. And I say that because I'm not a big account, but the people that follow me are just so surprising. Like Rosie O'Donnell followed me, Darius Rucker followed me. He was the first celebrity that ever followed me. And I was like, this is crazy. Am I doing? Are people actually listening to me? And it's just surprising in every which way. You never know who's going to come to your page at any point in time.
I've seen Darius Rucker in concert, so I'm a
Love,
fan.
love, love, love it.
Rock me, mama.
Yes, yes, yes.
I
Wagon
love
wheel.
that. And Rosie O'Donnell, I mean,
Yeah.
come on now. When that whole debacle came
Oh,
up, I'm friends
again.
with Victor Shi because I
Oh,
was one of the authors for Kamala. And that's how I connected with Victor. And Victor's like the most connected person on the face of the planet. Do you know
Yeah.
Victor?
And he's so young.
Yeah, I could be his mother. I've
Literally.
told him that. Literally, I could be his mother. My stepson is older than he is, so I could be his mother. And I'm always like, I want to be you when I grow up. What are
Oh,
you doing, buddy? Like, this
yeah.
is crazy. And he was the one who told Rosie O'Donnell and broke the news to her that Trump said this. And I'm one of the close friends, so I got to know that he was the one who broke the news. I'm like, this is really cool.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. He's done so much, especially at such a young age, such an inspiration. He's always on MSNBC doing hits, and it's like, how do you do this? Like, tell us your secret sauce, please. Please.
And he started at 14. He
Yeah.
was canvassing for his city council at 14. So I love it. I'm like, I'm telling my kids, like, door knock and look at what you can do. You don't have to wait until you're 65.
You are never too young. I'm glad that you said that, because I got my start into politics at a very young age, and I say it all the time on social media. Fourth grade, my mom was watching Barack Obama on the news, MSNBC, and any typical kid told her to change it. I didn't want to see that, and she goes, "No, you need to know what's going on." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what is it? Who is this guy? What's he going to be? What's going on?" And she said, "That's Barack Obama. He has an opportunity to be the first Black president." And I said, "Hold on, pause. We've never had a Black president before." And I was in fourth grade, and she said, "No, we've never had a Black president." And I said, "That's interesting." And so I immediately got intrigued. Now I was watching MSNBC, fell in love with Rachel Maddow, and just watched every single episode that I possibly could, and learned. And I realized at that point in time that I wanted to be like Barack Obama. So I got involved in student council, got involved with NHS, and was involved very actively with Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2016 here in South Texas. And when I was 17, I was an ambassador, the youngest ambassador for Better Will Work. And what I was doing was it was crazy. People thought I could vote for him, but I couldn't vote. I was just trying to get everyone to vote. So as an ambassador, I found campaign space, I found a donor, and I held a rally all at 17. And it's so crazy that I say that, because I got my first hit with Teen Vogue because of that, because Beto featured me. And it's just so crazy how so many young people like Victor and I got their start at a young age. And it just continues to show that there's not only young people involved in politics on the right, there are on the left as well. And it's just a matter of investing in them, putting your time, just like MAGA, just like Turning Point. Okay, you are the future. Are we going to invest in you, or are we going to continue focusing on people who are already known, these old people? And I think that just shows where we are in our country. It's a matter of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it.
And I think that you bring up a really great point. What we have on the left and the young people who are doing what you and Victor are doing are a much more diverse group of individuals. It
Yes.
is not all white men who are doing the work.
Your elite DC consultants.
Yes. And I love that. I love how everyone is showing up and doing it in their own unique way. It doesn't have to be the same way, which is also really interesting because we do see on the right that it is all the same. And so is that what the difference is between the two, and why we're not getting as much traction as we need to,
Yep.
because we're not all the same. And yet the beauty is that we aren't all the same, that we are doing this differently.
Exactly. There's so many different people talking about abortion, climate control, Gaza, gay rights. There's so many wide arrays of social justice that's not just accompanied into one creator. There's so many important, diverse topics that we need to be focusing on. And it's great that we have these different creators bringing us that wealth of knowledge into one space, so we can know what's going on in Israel. We can know what's going on with climate control. We can know what's happening in Texas with the gerrymandering. We can know what's going on in California with Prop 50. There's so many different types of creator spaces and different types of creators who are talking about different issues that are all important to the same cause, what we're doing here. And it brings me to my next point. There's so many people who say, why would I want to be a creator if there's already an Aaron Parnas, is already Under the Desk News? And it's like, can you imagine if Taylor Swift was the only person singing music? Can you imagine if Beyonce was the only one singing? How bland the world would be? Like,
Yes.
just because there's already these creators who are already top and great doesn't mean you can't be one too. I
Hmm.
mean, your inner circle is going to look to you. Someone said, "Oh, I'm the Aaron Parnas of my family." Be the Aaron Parnas of your family. Do it too. Start making videos. Start making carousels. Take a picture of your rose garden. Take a picture of your flowers, and put a caption It's that simple and easy to make a difference. Do not be introverted. Do not be scared or intimidated just because there's already big creators out there. Just don't let that hold you back.
Oh, I love this so much.
Mhm.
Tell me, with everything that we have going on, you just named like barely even touched the tipping point
Yeah.
of how many different issues there are. How are you absorbing all of this, creating all of the content, not getting burnt out? How are you doing that for yourself?
That is such a good question because someone asked me, Ricky, do you plan your content? And it's like, how can I plan my content in this ever changing media ecosystem that we're living in? No, I don't plan my content. I go with the flow. I go with the media. The news is my content. That's what I report on. And I really love Courier Newsroom. Courier Newsroom provides fast breaking news content that I can pull from. And I don't know if you're on Twitter or on X, I should say. There's an individual named Asen. He always has so many media clips clipped over and over and over again that I pull from and I talk about in real time. And that's what I kind of did when I first got my start in content creation, was pulling from those clips and started posting about them, because a lot of them were from Fox News. And I only ever watch Fox News at 5 o'clock just because Jessica Tarlov is on. And I love seeing the interaction between her and the individuals who were there. So I, talk about that. And Courier Newsroom is a great outlet for me, talking about what's going on in real time and just learning from the different creators like Aaron Parnas. Aaron Parnas, I can always count on him to tell me what's happening 5 minutes ago. And from there, he talks about what's happening, but it gives me a way to dissect it more, give my input, and give away how people can fight back. Like most recently with the Epstein files, Adelita Grijalva won that special election in Arizona. So I had, reported on what Ro Khanna said. I think that is me. Let me try and mute that. Perfect. Yeah, so Ro Khanna had said that the Republicans canceled votes on the 29th and the 30th, but Adelita Grijalva won. So I talked about, look, there's hope. Don't give up.
Mhm.
She's going to get sworn in before then, hopefully. And I also heard on MSNBC, I tune in during the night on MSNBC, and I heard that Rep. Massey was already getting a lot of pushback from the Republicans there. McCarthy was saying, don't sign, take your name off the petition. And he said, no, this is going to be on record. People are going to see the ones who are trying to withhold it. And you are the ones who are going to be protecting these individuals who did harm. So just finding different creators like Courier, like Aaron Parnas, and also the mom accounts. The mom accounts on Instagram offer such great insight because they offer a unique perspective on how things relate to them in their everyday life with their children. And I think those accounts are so valuable. And I don't know if you recently saw Tim Walz with his launch. He
Yeah.
incorporated these mom accounts with his launch. If other candidates across the country saw these different creators and collaborated with them to get their audience tuned in with their audiences, the ecosystem we could build, the power we would have together. And he did such an incredible, incredible debut with that. And I was just super excited to see. So, yeah, just tuning into those accounts, listening to different perspectives, hearing what's happening in real time, and dissecting it and offering my input and what I have to say is a great way for everyone to do, like you as a mom, talking about what the gerrymandering is and how you're going to fight back for Prop 50 is just an incredible example of what I do.
I love that. But how are you calming yourself? Like, I mean, I asked Aaron this last week, and Mister, I get 8 hours of sleep, and I go to the gym for an hour and a half. I'm like, what? Who
And
does
it's
that?
and
I don't get
how
that.
does he do that? How does he do that though? Like he's always constantly
He's always
reporting.
on, so I don't know if he's like, let me lift a weight, and oh, breaking news,
That's
everybody.
that's what I want to do. And that's what I want to know, and I always wonder. And that's such a great question because we always have to be rested, and I think that what I do is typically after 11 o'clock, I'm gonna turn off everything. And before 12, I'm not looking at my phone. So like yesterday, what happened in Texas, I woke up to the sound of Ted Cruz's voice and I was like, oh hell,
Ooh.
something happened in Texas. What is it? And I like immediately just turned the TV. I was like, I'm not, it can wait. Like it can wait. So I saw it, took a shower, and I was like, ah, a shooting happened. I was like, it's crazy. But I set that boundary. I was not going to look at the news. I wasn't going to look at my phone until after 12 o'clock. And I think that's a great habit. And I was like, I know everyone wants to break the news. I know everyone wants to talk about it, but have a boundary of when you're going to be on your phone, when you're going to post, and when you're not going to post. That right there is going to give you the ability to recharge and rest and do things that you love. And like right now, I'm reading a book that inspired me to read it. Was a Republican in Congress. It's called All Boys Aren't Blue. And I forgot the senator or the congressperson who was reading it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to read a book. That's the book I'm going to read. And then next it's going to be 107 days. So just setting a healthy boundary to be with your family, to take time for yourself, to do whatever you want to do, whether it be cooking, baking, or gardening. I occasionally love watching the Golden Girls. And that right there, yeah, that
Yes,
right there
yes.
is going to keep you from being overloaded, going to keep you from going crazy because I mean, I've gone crazy with this administration and it hasn't even been a full year yet. So just making sure that you're taking time to rest and recharge because my family at times hates when I'm eating dinner. I was like, I have to go record. Sorry, I'll be right back. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess you're saving democracy. Do what you got to do. But just healthy boundaries is what's going to get you across to the finish line and get us across these 4 years that I don't even want to look forward to.
We're not looking forward to them.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I love that you have to excuse yourself from the dinner table because we have a no devices. The kids have iPads. They're not like, scrolling on social media, but there's a no device rule at the
Love.
table. And then every once in a while, I'll be like, yeah, I have to come in with an AirPod in my ear because our congressman's having a call. So, oh,
Exactly.
mommy needs to finish her dinner because Senator Warren's on her Zoom. So I'll be back.
Love, love,
Those are the
love.
only excuses that we get devices at the table.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Mommy's doing her thing.
Yeah. Mommy's
Yeah.
trying to save the world. It's a big thing. Like when the moms, like we've had to explain to the kids why we canceled Disney Plus. And my son was like, can we get it back? Like this doesn't make sense that Disney Plus can't be on the TV. And but your freedom of speech, someday you'll thank us that we canceled Disney Plus. You're
I
just gonna live with it. And my husband's like, you have Netflix, go find that.
that is such an interesting topic because I was thinking about that yesterday. I was thinking, I saw a lot of people canceling their subscriptions. I don't have any of them because I don't have any kids. I have Netflix though. And I was like, I wonder how the moms are doing it. Like the moms who are trying to keep it together, trying to save democracy, are not, in tune to everything. How are they explaining to their kids why they had to cancel the Disney Plus and how are they going to keep them entertained? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who wish they could have canceled, but they can't because it's, unreasonable for them, which is understandable. And we shouldn't criticize them for it either. But how did how did that conversation go with you and your kids?
Well, it was funny because when it all started happening, I was like, "Oh, we got to cancel Disney Plus." Like, okay, this is a non-issue.
Yeah.
My husband handles the account. So I ran upstairs and I'm like, "Hey, we need to cancel Disney." He's like, "Oh, I'm already on the website to
Oh,
cancel."
good.
And I went, "Really?" Because this is more like my thing. I'm much more like, "I'm doing this. We got to do this." And I'm not shopping at Target and I haven't been there since before the inauguration. And he's on board, but he's like, "Oh no, I was already on the website to cancel. I
Good.
got this."
Good.
And so the first day the kids didn't even notice. And I had said something. And then they were like, "Well, wait, why did you cancel it?" Because we wanted to watch, I think there was a soccer game that you needed to get Disney Plus. And we're all, well, it's freedom of speech because they canceled Jimmy Kimmel. But we don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, that's because it's past your bedtime. So you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can talk to me like that, that's your freedom of speech. And
Yeah.
so if you want to continue talking like that, then you're just going to suck it up.
Period.
And that is it. And I say, in so many years, you will look back at this moment and go, oh, yeah, I remember our parents canceled Disney Plus because of this. We
Yeah.
were part of that. We helped make that happen because as soon as Kimmel was announced to come back, I was like, we did it. We did it. We were a part of this.
In
This
that
household
amount of
helped make that
time,
happen.
yes, in that amount of time, Disney lost billions of dollars. And it's so surprising to see and it's so refreshing. It's like we're not alone in this. There are many
Yes.
people who think like me and they're not that wearing red hats about MAGA. And it's just so good to see that people took that initiative, made that commitment. They're like, you know what? It's not aligned with my values. We're going to cut it off until they do something about it. And it's just like, oh, it's beautiful. And I was talking to my family about it, and I was like, they lost billions overnight just because they took Jimmy Kimmel off the air. And now Donald Trump is already trying to threaten them yet again. He thought it was going to be a win, but now clearly it wasn't because the people spoke. And that's exactly what I love to tell people who always say, my voice doesn't matter. If your voice didn't matter, Jeffrey, or whoever I'm talking to, why would they be trying to silence it? And it goes to the notion, especially in the Latino community and the Latino spaces where people don't want to vote, Latinos don't want to vote. And I asked them why, and they say, "Oh, just our upbringing. We're taught that our vote doesn't count. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't be trying to do everything they could to take your vote away from you, especially here in Texas with the gerrymandering. They're
Mhm.
filtering out Black, brown, and Asian community voices just so they can whitewash the vote and get their people in. These
Mhm.
maps already were drawn by Republicans, and then they came back and said they were unfairly drawn. It's like, no, that's a lie. We know that's a lie. You got a call from Donald Trump. You're trying to win back the House. You know you're unpopular, and you're going to do everything you can to try to win back the House, even if it means cheating. And an example that I always give, especially in my area, I'm in Congressional District 15. If you're watching, look it up. This seat was held by a Democrat for forever, up until 2022, because already gerrymandering had already happened here in Texas, and that seat flipped. And if you look at the map, it makes absolutely no sense. I'm down here in South Texas, and the map's incorporated parts in San Antonio that's way at the tip, nearing the tip of the state, way up there. It makes no sense. And during that election, the primary election, the Democratic candidate won by a total, if I think it was 5 votes, by 5 votes. And it's like, had those 5 people not gone and voted for her, she wouldn't have won. So
Or
your vote,
where are the other 5 people who didn't show up to vote? Because
ex-
if everybody showed up to vote, then we wouldn't have even needed those 5.
exactly, exactly. And it's just, it's crazy how the times that we're living in, never in a million years did I think that I'd be doing this. Never in a million years did I think this world would be so divided, because even when I was tuned into politics with Barack Obama, it was never like this up until 2016 with Donald Trump. And I
Mhm.
really think that he's the cause of everything that we've seen in the rise of political violence.
Oh, absolutely. It's so disheartening and disgusting to watch and to listen to him, and then to see others, people who I'm even related to, who
Yeah.
perpetuate this, and I'm like,
And
do
then they
you
go,
listen to what I'm listening to? Like, how are your ears working? Because
it
no.
makes it's so hypocritical, because they go and say that he's uniting everyone, he's going to be the unity president. No, he's not. Go back to 2016 when he told his supporters to punch the crap out of a protester that he'd pay their fees. How is that uniting the country? How is that peace? And then at Charlie Kirk's funeral, his wife just said, "I forgive the person who shot my husband. I hate my opponent and I don't want the best for them." How are you going to sit there and agree with that and call out Democrats for being hateful when your leader is saying that he hates anyone that doesn't agree with him, people he represents as the president of the United States?
I think in addition to that, and this is where I go, I don't like what it's doing to me because I feel like it's turning me into a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything that comes out of that administration's mouth, I'm like, is that real?
Yeah.
Like the SIM card stuff that they found in New York and the terror stuff. I'm like, really? Did you?
And
Where are the SIM cards? Because my local police will be like, we caught these gang members and here are pictures of their ghost guns and here's a picture of this. And you get pictures to show what they've done. And I'm like, well, where did this happen? And then now we're finding it, anti-ice was written on the bullets. Why don't you take a picture of the bullet in the field? Please. I
why
would
tie it
like
all up
you,
like that?
please show up before you touch it, take a picture of it, take a video of the people coming onto it, because I'm not buying this.
And I like that you said that, because when we start leaning into conspiracy theories, we turn into the right, and the people who said that Sandy Hook wasn't real, and things like that. And it's sad to say, but if those bullets really did say anti-ice, why was it only that migrants were killed?
Right.
I
Because
mean,
the aim obviously was fine.
and then they say it wasn't good aim. I was like, no, he was aiming. He was able to hit 3 people. And if he was going for ICE agents, they're obviously dressed in a uniform. It's just something, it's very fishy.
And maybe it's not a conspiracy theory thing. Maybe it's more, I don't believe it's the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not that I think there's a conspiracy. It's that there's been too many lies.
Mhm.
So when someone
We know it's
continuously
not.
lies to you, then how do you know when they're actually telling the truth?
Exactly. Exactly. And I like that you said that, because we're not making that up. There have been multiple lies in this administration. Going back to what happened with Charlie Kirk, the FBI director, Kash Patel, was stuffing his face at rows at a restaurant, tweeting false information, putting the people there on that campus in danger because he said that they caught the suspect when the suspect was still at large. And even at the press conference, the local police, the FBI, and everyone there was saying different stories, that we had a guy, we didn't have a guy. And me watching it, I was just like, wait, what did I just watch? Why weren't they briefed on the same message they were going to give? Why are they giving false information and different types of information that's confusing people? Do you have them or
It's
not?
sloppy. It's just
Yes,
so sloppy.
it's embarrassing.
And who I'm amazed because I think maybe I've watched too much TV or whatever of, you don't give away all of the information
Huh?
to the public, especially if there's going to be a trial in court and you want a right to a fair jury and all of this, you don't give all of your cards away. So why are we tweeting or putting on Truth Social or wherever it is, all of this inside information as we get it? That doesn't make any sense. We've never seen that with another administration. They're like,
It's
no, we're going to hold our cards close to us. Then we'll let you know in a day.
it's so icky. It's messy. It's unorganized. It's unprofessional. I'm a comms major. I graduated with a comms degree. You don't tweet sensitive information like that. That like if it's what you're having for dinner. I mean, this is a murder happened. You talk in a professional manner, not as if you were in fifth grade talking about who stole your candy bar. Oh
But
my God,
they're all people who are unqualified for these positions. So what more can we expect?
messy. Yeah.
Messy, sloppy, not the way we roll.
Exactly, exactly. That's why we're here. And it's funny that you said that because I used to always never ever post memes or post AI images just because I didn't want to lose my credibility as a creator. But I go and I look at the White House account and that's all it is. And it's like, wow, we've truly lost the plot. We've lost our credibility. We've lost everything. And it's like, if the White House is doing this on their social media page, can you imagine what other countries are thinking when they
Oh,
see that?
I can imagine. I think we all saw it yesterday when they were told that their countries are going to hell.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. And then, oh, yeah. And then Fox News is still having those individuals on the air, but they want to take off Jimmy Kimmel. But Fox News can say, we're going to bomb at the UN. We're going to kill homeless people. Oh, it's so, so
It's
enraging
the
to me.
hypocrisy. It is the
Yes.
hypocrisy right there, and that's what continues. That it enrages me. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so upsetting. And I'm glad that I'm not alone because it really does piss me the hell off. It's like, how are you going to say this, but you're going to be okay with this? But they'll go and change the narrative and say, oh, you're taking what he said out of context. It's not what he meant. And it's just like, oh, you people,
Mhm.
where do you get off?
You know what's funny is last night, we watched the, first episode of Slow Horses. Have you
Okay.
seen that?
I haven't.
So, it's London-based, and it's like the MI6 and whatever it is, they're security people, and the storyline is so close to what is going on right now, down to one of the mayoral candidates saying, "Well, you took my words out of context." I
Oh,
was
God.
like, "Holy hell, this was recorded way before any of this." I don't like this Handmaid's Tale shit.
It's crazy that you say that, too, because there's so many shows and movies like I think it's on Netflix where it says "Don't Look Up." It was typical Trump behavior from his first administration, and it was played in a way that shows how stupid and the idiocracy that we're seeing now, and people still didn't listen. And it's like we're so lost right now in this country. We really are.
But I feel like people like you are bringing it back, and at least you're making others aware, and you're doing it in a way that is also entertaining and
Oh,
fun and friendly, and you're a ray of sunshine. I love
oh,
it.
I'm gonna give you a big hug. I gotta go to California.
Oh, yeah, way better. Sorry, way better than Texas. Certain parts, certain parts. Yeah, I lived there for a while, so I can say that.
Good, good, exactly.
Can I ask, where can everybody find you, follow you, and get all of your incredible content?
You can find me on Instagram at the Gay Liberal Gay Liberal, TikTok at the Gay Liberal Gay Liberal. You can find me on Threads at the Gay Liberal, Facebook again at the Gay Liberal, and just find my face, find Michelle's face. I'm going to collaborate on this post once it comes out, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Of course.
Take Ricky's advice and start sharing your voice. You just need to change one person, have them listen, have them read, have them like your stuff, and you're making a difference. So know that your voice can help change what we are seeing. It can help save democracy. I encourage you to go follow Ricky, consume his content because it is incredible, and know that everything you do is something that's making a difference in society, in our country, and it is needed. Your voice is needed.